Welcome into the Upstate Pulse pre-show. Please tell all your friends that we're right here on 106.3 WORD approximately 15 minutes before we go on to the air. A lot of people are going, you don't look like your voice. Well, neither do you. So there. This is Chris, by the way.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Lonzo, in case you didn't know that.
Show contributor Cameron.
Show contributor Cameron.
Right here.
Hi.
Angry Zach's supposed to be here at some point. He's on diva time. Patrick, the flaccid one,
isn't here to get his client here on time.
He is not. And Patrick is one of the low men on the totem pole here. Chris and I have been that person before. So Patrick has to work for Thanksgiving, so he asked me could he have today off, and I said yes, because
you're a magnanimous fellow.
Yes, I am. And so I've been here all day. Yes, yeah. I've been here all day, but that's fine. That's fine. That was kind of loud, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're like venting your frustration.
I was projecting. So on today's show, I know I teased that something really disgusting is going to happen. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. And that's what you do on radio and even on Facebook Live. You tease. In a good way, not in a bad way.
It's like a verbal poke.
Very good point. Verbal poke. On today's show, Cameron and I went to see Justice League. We're going to review that. Spoiler free. I don't know if Zach went to see it or not. Good shot, he probably did. So we're going to talk about that. What would you like to be buried with? There is a guy who was buried with something that he wanted. It's unusual. We're going to talk about that. And we want to hear from you. 71307 is our text line. What do you want to be buried with? We'll get into the story a little bit later. We also have a lot of music news, including one of AC/DC's founding members has died. And Malcolm Young, we're going to talk about him, play some AC/DC music through the show. We are going to, in the second hour, because we'll get those texts, we're going to break down the pay-per-view Survivor Series for WWE tomorrow. We've got some other sports news, including a boomerang. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. Nerd Roundtable, a ton of stuff to talk about that. But there was a story that went viral, and people were really disgusted about what this guy did, a college student.
Yeah.
And it involved a couple things. One of the things it involved, Cameron, show them what it involved.
Oh, did it involve some nice Pop-Tarts?
Yes, some Pop-Tarts, product placement, Pop-Tarts, and also involved something else, Chris. What did it involve? What would that be? That would be cheese. Yes.
Now, we couldn't find sliced cheese like the guy did in...
But we found out a good story about that. We're going to talk about that, too.
But we have what I guess is the next best thing. It's salsa con queso.
I wanted Cheese Whiz. We couldn't find Cheese Whiz. And we didn't want to go on Woodruff Road because Woodruff Road is crazy. If you're coming this way, stay off of Woodruff Road.
Don't go to Woodruff Road.
It will take you forever to get to wherever you're going.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, it's a little self-defeating because if people were stuck on Woodruff Road, then they would be in their cars and they could listen to the show on the radio longer.
That. Yes.
But we don't want you to suffer like that. Not because of the show, but because of the traffic on Woodruff Road.
Yeah, we're going to suffer on the show because I will tell you what we are going to do in the second hour, near the end of the show, involves the Pop-Tarts and the cheese. I think you can kind of guess, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But I wish Patrick were here because he would enjoy this a whole lot. My goal has been on this show to make Patrick throw up on the air. This would do it.
There might be seepage.
I was going to say, since we didn't get sliced cheese, the salsa con queso might seep from
There could be some seepage.
There could be some seepage.
This is going to be bad. It's going to be disgusting.
I wonder if this stuff is gooey enough.
This might be the start of some really bad things on this show as far as food goes. I mean, we enjoy trying. The most disgusting thing we've had so far have been the Lucky Charms.
Yes.
It was a Fruit Loops.
It was a Lucky Charms milkshake.
Milkshake from...
It was a Fruit Loops.
No, it was Fruit Loops. It was supposed to be Lucky Charms, but they screwed it up.
Wrong.
They screwed it up at the drive-thru window.
I didn't get it wrong.
Okay, they got it wrong. So, insert Joe Pesci sound here. But Chris isn't going to do that.
No.
So anyway...
Even though I could.
Yes.
Facebook Live.
Yeah, you could, but I'd rather you didn't. That would make me feel uncomfortable. And so anyway, that's the most disgusting thing that we've had since we started doing this show. I think this is going to top it. Maybe there are bugs down the line somewhere or something like that. Would you eat bugs? Have you ate bugs before?
I might eat a bug. if it were
Would you consider escargot a bug?
no escargot.
A snail is a bug, isn't it?
No.
What is a
No.
snail? A snail's a snail? How's a snail not?
Pretty sure
it's
it
not a
has its own
fish.
classification.
Is it a crustacean?
Tell
What
us
is a
if there are any
Listen,
zoologists out there.
You're Mr. Know-It-all. What is a snail? Does anyone
Snail.
out there? What is a snail?
A snail is well. I can tell you what a snail isn't, and that's an insect
How is a snail not?
or an arthropod.
What is it? What is a snail?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm
Am
not
I
sure
the
of a
only
snail's
one that thinks a snail's a
classification,
bug?
But you know what But you know how I know that a snail is not an insect? It's because it doesn't have legs, which insects do.
It doesn't have an exoskeleton.
6 of them,
Worms.
as a matter of fact.
Worms don't have.
Worms are also not insects.
What is a worm?
They're probably akin to a.
So when you say
invertebrate,
probably,
like,
that means you don't know.
no, I just said I don't know.
Okay, all right, fine.
I don't,
Do
but
you
I
think
but
worms
you know
are
what?
bugs?
But
I
you know
think
what?
worms are bugs.
I will look this up for you, and
I'm
when
sure
we
you
go
will.
on the air, I will let
sure you
you
will.
know.
By the way, I've had chocolate-covered ants before. I've had chocolate-covered crickets before. So,
I do not think I have ever eaten a bug
on purpose?
on purpose.
I was gonna say-
I've probably swallowed one like while riding in the convertible or something, but
Yeah, that's right. We did use
just
that
by
before.
accident.
Yeah.
But I've never intentionally eaten a bug.
They're not as gross as you think, but I tell you what, I would rather eat a bug than to eat what we're going to eat later on. Obviously, you see the two things, we're going to mix them together. It's going to be nasty. It's a Pop-Tart sandwich. You got to look it up. It's gross, and it's going to be.
I just wanted to talk about it. Lonzo decided to
He
do
put
it.
it on the list.
I put it on the list so that we could talk about it.
I wanted Cheese Whiz. We couldn't find Cheese Whiz. Again, Cheese Whiz would have been a good visual and also would have sounded better on the air. The conqueso and the cinnamon is probably going to cause some sort of chemical reaction. It's going to kill us all. But at least we'll
Like
be
cyanide or
yeah,
something,
we'll be
yeah.
live on.
Well, it'll kill you guys.
We'll be live on Facebook. Why?
I have a stomach of iron.
Okay, whatever. So
That means I'm
anyway,
gonna puke.
we got to get to the show and show them what we're eating again later. There's this. You know, chocolate.
It's backwards, but you can tell what it
Never
is.
put your chocolate and peanut butter together. Do not eat a Pop-Tart and cheese sandwich.
No, that's
We're about to eat a
yeah,
Pop-Tart and
trust
cheese
me,
sandwich.
Put chocolate and peanut butter together. It's one of the best
Yes,
things ever.
yes, it's actually one of the most amazing things ever. But
I
there is a
use-
story that goes along with this, and we're going to talk about it when we're live on the air. We got to go.
I actually used to make chocolate and peanut butter sandwiches.
With bread.
Yeah, like 2 pieces of bread, put peanut butter on one side and chocolate syrup on the other.
Oh, okay. You didn't say chocolate syrup. I'm good with that.
I'm sorry, I meant
Yeah, I've
peanut
had
butter and chocolate syrup sandwiches.
I've had chocolate gravy before. Chocolate gravy's killer, by the way. I wouldn't have any now because the sweetness would just, well, that's probably what's going to happen to me later. Anyway,
Intrigued.
tune in to the Upstate Pulse. Lots of music, lots of fun.
gonna
Take
be
us
good.
along on your way out on the road, but stay away from Woodruff Road. We will be on the air in just a couple minutes.